This is just AMZN on Tuesday, April 20th, 2021. Back here on the hourly where I left off with my last video. And we did get that pullback today. So we moved down a bit. And I was looking at this being a bigger double top, still entirely possible. But really where we stopped today. So this line has been here since the 8th, earlier this month. So almost 2 weeks, and extended that to right, like we really just came to a stop like right on that line. So kind of a previous retest spot. So we stayed above it here. So let me turn it back on. There you go. So we stayed above it here, and then we actually retested into it today. So I don't know if it's going to break down more. This looks like a really nice flag here, like a bear flag that we can definitely continue down to this line. I don't know. We'll see. Let's zoom back in onto the 5-minute. Give it a second here to load. All right, so opened up pretty flat and like really flat. This is a really big hammer. Kind of gap down a little bit. We're just chopping right here on this line, and then we clearly broke down. Started to go sideways, retested here into the 21, almost into the line, nice high wave candle, and then broke down again. And then we had like, this is a really nice rest after battle, or what's it called? Rising three, I think. I think it's called Rising 3 because the 3 middle candles bookended by bearish candles. It's a continuation pattern, and it continued. And then we came down here, put in a really nice hammer, went sideways. Like at one point, this was another really big bearish candle, and it's like, can it really keep going down? And then sure enough, it, this is where the bulls came in, buying it back up. We didn't get back below this price. Bears tried. We'll switch over to the options here, because I mean, there were some really good places to be getting in bullish down here. So the 3,400 call right through here, it put in a low at 975, and I didn't see this. I think I was tied up with something else during this time, but looking back at it later, it's like, wow, that would have been a really nice move right back into the 21. Buy at 10, stop at 9, target at 13, and then it did it again over here. You could have bought at 10, stop at 9, target 13, would have worked over here, like another rally. So this is just a really good, price to, kind of stop the bearish move, at least temporarily, not to say it's totally done. But I was just talking about this price, like the 3320s, the 3330s, somewhere in here that we could get a move continuing down into this level. So back over here with this rollover. So I've got the 3275 put pulled up. So this was a great place to be getting in on this kind of retest here. The 33, well, I'll go to 3,300 in a sec, and then the 3250. 3275, it was really bad on volume, but this worked really well. Buy at 9 and stop at 8 and get out at 12. And that was my trade, and it worked great. At one point, it was almost stopping me out at 8, but I mean, it didn't even print, like the options chain was saying that. Like I was kind of glancing at it at this time, but I was just playing this as a rollover, like looking for this to roll over here, and it just retested really nicely, almost tagged this line, but I had already gotten in. I think I filled over here somewhere. No, I think it was 922. It filled, and I was almost mad that it filled there because I didn't quite want it there. But I was looking for that $9 price, and sure enough, it came right back into the $9 price here. And then as it started moving up closer to 12, it actually printed, again, the options chain printed 12, I think over on this candle. So it would have been this candle all the way down here, like towards the low. The option chain printed the $12 price, but it didn't fill it until over here on this candle. And so while I'm waiting for this to just fill, because it's like, okay, it's going to get there. It was going through my mind, like, I've got the time. Do I think it's actually going to continue? And can I get my stop to up to the $12 price like really, really quickly? Or am I going to hold through another sort of pullback, and not being sure of how, well, obviously you're never sure, but looking at this now, we broke this hammer to break down high wave candle continuing. We went into a continuation pattern, broke down, like everything was screaming bearish. I was just maybe too close to it. And, it also depends on where you're at in the month, but I just took the 3R, got out at 12, actually got out at 12:10 with a little bit of positive slippage, which is always nice. And then was still happy with that, and looked at it over here. It's like, okay, if I had a stop over here at 12, would it have filled based on what I was seeing earlier? It probably would have still stopped me out at 12. Maybe I would have had a slippage the other way, slippage against me on a stop order instead of positive slippage on a limit order. So, but my setup would have been, or the plan for it would have been to move the stop up to 3R and then move the target up to 8R. And going from 9 up 8R would be 17. And that would have filled over here. So would have only had to wait, about half an hour more to get, an 8R trade. But I was good with 3 hours after, about half an hour of getting it over here and getting out. Actually, I think it filled right at 9:51. So it was less than 30 minutes in the trade. So that was my trade here. If we jump over to the 3,300, this is just a little bit pricier than I wanted. That's yesterday. There we go. So this is a little pricier. I didn't want to pay up to 13. I definitely could have had a better move. So if I had gotten in at 13, let's see, if I got in at 13, which that would have been the right price to get in at 13, right? Well, obviously, yeah, looking at it now, hindsight, yes. But yeah, I think I would have had a harder time getting $100 risk on this. That's why I didn't like it. If you got a bigger R, if you could do, 200, 300, something like that, if that's your R, I like doing 100 because it's really easy. You just, easy to multiply. Let me say it again. If you want to, if your risk is 200 and you're following what I'm talking about, then you can buy two contracts instead of one contract, something like that, and $500 R to get 5 contracts with $100 risk per option, that kind of thing. So it's really easy to scale up. And so this is one where I clearly would have been looking for more R's. If I was able to get in at 13, getting out at 16, that would have been too quick. It was pretty clearly rolling over here. We had talked about this bearish move continuing lower like that. So this is one that you would have just set the target at 8R probably almost immediately, or knowing that the option's a little more expensive and it's a little bit closer, it has better opportunity to move. And then the 3250, this one just seemed too far away and too inexpensive. So this would have been getting in at 6 with a stop down at 5, and this would have had the 3R move, getting in at 6, getting out at 9. But this would not have been able to make it up to the 8R target, because that would have been 6 plus 8 is 14. Didn't even get up there, even at the high. So this is something that you probably would have been scaling out when it's coming down here going sideways. It's like, okay, just get out, maybe get out for 10, 11, something like that. And so, the original target was 9. Might as well just take 9 and not have to worry about, trying to hold for, what's the best R to get out, not going to buy the low, not going to buy the high, that kind of thing. So yeah, that was a couple of the different setups just to look at, but I was happy with the trade. And I think with how sideways this is going, if we get another bit of a consolidation and breakdown, I think we could see something similar happen. I also would not mind if it retests back up here and then rolls over. I think it's actually probably more likely to have that retest back up to this line and then a harder rollover. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.